U.S. President Donald Trump has announced a breakthrough in the Gaza ceasefire deal. Trump, in a post on Truth Social, said that Israel has agreed to an initial withdrawal line, which has been shared with Hamas. Once Hamas confirms, a ceasefire will take effect immediately and a full prisoner exchange will begin. Trump's 20-point proposal includes a phased Israeli withdrawal, Hamas disarmament, and an internationally supervised transitional government in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has also said that he hopes to announce the release of all hostages in the coming days. Indirect talks between Israel and Hamas are set to begin Monday in Egypt, though key terms still remain unclear. Netanyahu insists Israel will not carry out a full withdrawal from Gaza. Addressing his nation on social media, Netanyahu informed his countrymen that his administration is working diligently and is on the verge of great achievement. Gaza's Civil Defense Agency reported that Israel carried out dozens of airstrikes and artillery shelling on Gaza City and other areas across the Strip, even after U.S. President Donald Trump called for a halt in bombardments following Hamas's agreement to key terms in a ceasefire deal. 7 people have already been killed today. Mahmoud Basal, civil defense spokesperson, described it as a very violent night, highlighting the extensive damage caused to residential areas. According to authorities, 20 homes were destroyed overnight. Casualties have been reported across the Strip. Baptist Hospital in Gaza City received victims from a strike in the Tufa neighborhood, including 4 dead and several wounded. Meanwhile, Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis reported the deaths of 2 children and injuries to 8 people following a drone strike on a tent housing displaced Gazans. Meanwhile, in Washington, U.S. President Donald Trump thanked Arab leaders for their efforts after Hamas agreed on Friday to release hostages and accept parts of his proposed Gaza peace plan. Trump also asserted that he would not tolerate any delay when it comes to the peace proposal. He warned Hamas to cease the fighting or else all bets are off.
I want to thank the countries that helped me put this together: Qatar, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and so many others. So many people fought so hard. This is a big day. We'll see how it all turns out. We have to get the final word down in concrete. Very importantly, I look forward to having the hostages come home to their parents and having some of the hostages, unfortunately, you know the condition they're in, come home likewise to their parents, because their parents wanted them just as much as though that young man or young woman were alive. So I just want to let you know that this is a very special day, maybe unprecedented in many ways. It is unprecedented, but thank you all, and thank you all to those great countries that helped. We were given a tremendous amount of help. Everybody was unified in wanting this war to end and seeing peace in the Middle East. And we're very close to achieving that. Thank you all, and everybody will be treated fairly.
But despite these diplomatic gestures, the humanitarian crisis deepens as the airstrikes and shelling continue, leaving civilians caught in the crossfire. The world watches closely as Gaza reels from renewed violence, even as leaders push for a ceasefire. Meanwhile, the death toll in the nearly 2-year Israel-Hamas war has killed 67,000 Palestinians. Also, 137 activists from 14 countries detained were deported by Israel and have arrived in Istanbul. Video footage shows their transfer from an Israeli prison to the airport, followed by a warm welcome from supporters in Turkey. They in fact aimed at delivering aid to Gaza. Saw over 450 activists detained, including Swedish activist Greta Thunberg. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he hopes to announce the release of all hostages from Gaza in the coming days as talks progress in Egypt.
Exhausted Palestinians in Gaza clung to hope on Saturday that US President Donald Trump would keep up pressure on Israel to end a 2-year war. They greeted with relief Hamas's declaration that it was ready to hand over hostages and accept some terms of Trump's plan to end the conflict. Islamic Jihad, a hardline ally of Hamas that also holds hostages, endorsed that response, which could help pave the way for the release of Israelis still held by both Palestinian militant groups. The war has killed tens of thousands of Gazans and displaced the entire population of more than 2 million. A UN Commission of Inquiry and numerous human rights experts have concluded that Israel has committed genocide in Gaza, which Israel strongly denies. Gazans like Adel al-Housh have watched one ceasefire effort after another fail.
This news that we heard is good. We've been waiting for a long time for this news, because as you see, the country has become chaos and there's no security. There's horror, fear and hunger, and enough of displacing people from their homes to the streets.
Trump's plan set out ending the war, Israel's staged withdrawal, and the release of Israeli hostages and Palestinian captives.
This is a big day. We'll see how it all turns out.
Trump called for a halt to Israel's bombing, putting the onus on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government. But smoke still rose over Gaza on Saturday as Israeli airstrikes persisted, though with less intensity, and killed several people. The Israeli military issued a warning to residents that Gaza City remained a dangerous combat zone. Several issues remain unresolved, including whether Hamas will agree to disarm, one of Israel's top demands.
Hardly slept all night. The WhatsApp groups were roaring, and we're very hopeful.
Efrat Mashikawa's 81-year-old uncle, Gadi Moses, was seized by Hamas, then released earlier this year. Israeli hostages' families, who've held constant protests, hoped the agonizing wait was nearly over.
Today is day 729. The hostages must be back, and the suffering of everyone. Here in Gaza, it's time to end this horrific war and bring every single hostage back home. We are for the rebuild and the rehabilitation. We're fed up with the war. We don't want any revenge. We want to concentrate on life.